Hey Aquarius, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channel messages that come through. So let's get into it. It's a new day. Yay. Well, you know, as we're in Taurus season, as we're moving through, we're kind of like actually wrapping up Taurus season at this point, but the value is it has brought in more of the earth element, meaning more stability, more consistency. We kind of know who and what we're dealing with. And even though there is still like a lot of tension, a lot of frustration, there are things changing, dynamics are shaking out in a certain way, that doesn't make everything easy per se. We have a better grasp that earth energy definitely helps bring in that concept of grounding and stability. It's been, you know, we had a full moon. It's highlighting a lot of changes. Full moon in Scorpio. Pluto just went into retrograde, and it also recently moved into Aquarius. So it's really highlighting like our wants, our desires, how we desire. Sorry to be redundant. I was trying to choose other words, I promise. But it really is highlighting like what we want in life and then the changes that we actually have to make in order to get there. And some of it's not so fun, right? But that's why I like to start off the readings with an energy cleansing, just kind of set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out any blocks, obstacles we might be coming into. It's a really great time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you've come into this with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over, Aquarius. Be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're just looking for more of a rebalancing of self, mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're honoring ourselves, when we're aware of our wants, our needs, etc., that's really where we're manifesting abundance from. We have to be right with self, and I would love to support whatever that looks like for you. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, I'm going to adjust this real quick. It makes a crazy noise, but yeah, so, you know, I feel like your energy is distracted is what I'm going to say. Like it just, and not that you necessarily have a lot going on, but I feel like almost like your mind is full of a lot of different things. It could be options. It could just be like tapes playing over and over and over again as I'm hearing like making assessments on what your next moves are. Like I see you kind of almost like looking at different avenues that you could take around something. And you want to obviously make sure that you're taking the right thing. Like that's how your energy is coming across. Of course, like we don't ever want to make the wrong decision, so to speak, but there is something that like, here's the thing, you're moving on from something. We're seeing this all across the board in the collective, that proverbial cycle closure, which is what which is what Scorpio Pluto energy brings about. Taurus is about like how to ground it into our reality. That's like, you know, Uranus is in Taurus right now, so the call is to find creative approaches, creative solutions with what's going on in front of us. Things are closing out, and I feel like you know that. Maybe not everything is clear cut, and that's why I'm seeing you trying to figure out what is the quote unquote right step to take. You feel a little bit defeated though at the same time, Aquarius. I feel like you had to give up on something, or like let go of a fight is what I'm hearing. Whether that's like a fight within yourself or trying to convince yourself, or, you know, whatever, that something was different than what it actually was. And it looks like you've released that. It looks like, and I'm hearing more so as you've been releasing whatever this is, purging out, it is kind of leaving you in this space of twiddling your thumbs, so to speak. Like maybe you have a little extra time on your hands, and so you don't know really how to fill in that extra time. That's kind of why your mind is going a million miles a minute. I love this though. This is giving you the opportunity to reframe. You know, I think a lot of times when we're in difficult dynamics, it can be really easy to blame ourselves for what we could have done better. But sometimes we also have to see what we were dealing with, you know, and there might have been something that you kind of were leaving up in the air. You wanted to see how it shook out, etc. I'm hearing that it's like not exactly what you had anticipated. And so it puts a new spin on things. Some of this ambiguity that you're feeling, like not really making any steps quite yet, or kind of just maybe sitting, twiddling your thumbs, literally, is this value of like, okay, I'm hearing it's time to put some plans into action. It's time to like really let things go this week. It's a hard thing to do because I feel like it is a continual release of control for you. Again, not in any sort of throwing shade at you in any sort of way. This is things that we all have to go through as human people when we are letting go. And it has this vibe that like maybe you thought you had a little more time, maybe you want a little bit more time, but maybe there's not more time left, you know? And I'm not saying that in some bleak, ominous way. Let's see what the tarot says. But I think it is like, it's just like something is a little bit hard to let go of is what it's showing. And yes, feel the feels, do whatever you need to do at the same time. Spirit's also asking you to kind of reframe how you're looking at the situation, because it is putting you in a position to commit to the next thing, the next go you give it, the next time around is what I'm trying to say. Sorry to overcomplicate. It's forcing you to commit to it in a different type of way. In a way that like is a little bit more authentic for you. But yeah, okay. I mean, so you're just feeling it. You're feeling it. It looks like closure is around you, new beginnings. Like I said, it's that value of wanting a little bit more time and not really feeling like you have it. And there's a lot of grief around that. You're feeling that this week, 100%. But it's also helping you make new plans. It's helping you make new plans. This was something that forced you, Aquarius, to level up, right? To really, like a lesson of that you learned wisdom. Sorry, I don't know why that's coming out. It's so weird. It was a lesson that you had to go through, and what you got out of it was that nugget of wisdom. And sometimes that's hard, right? It looks like taking care of yourself this week is really important. Three of Swords, Ace of Swords is Four of Swords. So taking time to rest, to meditate, and feeling, you know, I don't know. I feel like you're having a hard time with someone or something, it looks like. We have the Devil popping up here. It looks like someone might be pointing the finger, might be blaming you, or putting you into a box that you really don't want to be put into. I don't know that there's much that you can do about that this week. I think it is humbling on some level, meaning that it's going to take you that wisdom that you learn to like act a little bit better or not engage. There still is a heightened fire energy in the astrology, and so that's asking us to not be too reactionary. Thankfully, actually, no, I take that back. I was going to say nothing is tensely aspected to Mars, but we'll backtrack that a little bit. Unfortunately, Mercury is, and that's all about communication, and sometimes we just don't like what some people have to say, but sometimes we just have to say, okay, right? Like, not that you can't prove your point, say what you need to say in rebuttal, whatever that looks like for you. But at the same time, we know when pushing the envelope is a little bit too much, right? And knowing kind of when to stop, when to disengage is how it looks, because I don't know, this person's situation that you're dealing with has their own stuff to work out, or they're working through. Maybe they can't hear you, or maybe it's hard to like both parties taking ownership. I don't know. There's just a lot of disappointment in this dynamic. And as much as I do feel like it is closing out, I think a lot of clarity and awareness are going to come into play. I think it's confirming something that your intuition already knows, but it's not an easy conversation to have, right? And that's where I'm hearing, like, instead of maybe sitting in what is being said or how you feel about, yes, acknowledge your feelings 100%, but don't penalize or judge yourself for those things, or even for like what someone else. Like, sometimes we do have to listen to other people. We do have to validate what you know, whatever their experience was, but we don't have to necessarily take responsibility for it, right? At the end of the day, we're adults, we can do this, we can make our own choices, etc. And it's showing that as you are remaining balanced, Aquarius, that you're actually choosing to disengage, to disconnect in a way that is honoring and powerful for this situation. You are able to reframe, and I think that's actually working towards your benefit in this dynamic as a whole. I think that because of the pain that is present, it's been hard to commit to that theory, right? It's been hard to validate yourself, or it's been hard to kind of see how people's situations show up that is super painful, that might be like really effing toxic, and then they're not even taking responsibility for it. And in fact, they're actually trying to point the finger at you, i.e. gaslighting, right? And that's where I think like you're not struggling to heal, but you're in a time where your heart needs a lot of TLC, but it's bringing clarity. And the more you kind of take a back step, what I love about the Empress is she's willing to surrender, right? She's willing to continue that process of releasing, letting go of the perceived control. And you know, being an observer is such a powerful energy. We get so much information, and you're coming out in a very powerful way, Aquarius, in this whole dynamic. Trusting the process. I know it's cliche, but it's so true. You know, just to recognize that sometimes there is divine order in things. We have to move through things. People, places, and things that are going to love and support us are so important right now. Really knowing and understanding and not putting ourselves in dynamics where people are charming, you know, being deceitful, trying to get their own agenda out of the situation. And I feel like there is some release that you do have to get out of this. Maybe this is having a hard conversation with someone or something, because it's important. Like, this is something that like you feel in your heart. You feel like you're ready to let go and release it. It's hard to take the steps to do so. You know, I think change is hard anyway, but it is about your personal journey, right? Like, this is about what is making you, right? The pieces to the puzzle. And look at how amazing your energy is showing up at the end of this reading, right? Like, you're coming in as the Empress. I love this deck. It's so gorgeous. But it's also just like this, like, and she's like throwing, you know, butterflies out of her basket, which is just such a beautiful sign of abundance. It's that confirmation of abundance, of prosperity as you make the changes, right? Butterflies symbolize transformation, and in a way where we are aligning with ourselves, which is incredibly powerful. And you're doing that this week. It's not easy. It's going to require intention on your end, but honestly, Aquarius, you got this. This is a good reading. It's very like empowering. I love this for you. Thank you so much for your time, energy always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here today. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to say hey or share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support that you bring to the channel. No, I'm sending it back your way.